Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting. Let's get started. The date, location, and time of this regular meeting were emailed to the Independent Press, Bloomfield Life, the Star Ledger, the Township Clerk of the Township of Bloomfield, and posted on the Bloomfield School District website on January 7th, 2021. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Guo, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Barker.
Present.
Ms. Dudley.
She said here.
Ms. Green. Mr. Heller.
Here.
Mr. Morse.
Here.
Ms. Salinas.
Here.
Vice President Walker.
Here.
President Fisher.
Here. For those of you following along, we are number 2, executive session. Be it resolved, the Bloomfield Board of Education will adjourn into closed meeting to discuss items which fall an exception of our open meetings policy and permit the board to have private discussion since it deals with specific exceptions contained in NJSA 10:4-12B, i.e. collective bargaining agreements and personnel matters that affect a specific prospective or current employee. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You guys, we'll see you in approximately 1 hour. Thank you very much. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the public session of our board meeting this evening. Before we begin and celebrate our teachers and staff, Mr. G would like the floor for 1 minute to be able to read a statement. Mr. G, the floor is yours.
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to all of our directors, principals, and supervisors who have come out tonight. Thank you to all our talented educators and friends who have come to support them. This is certainly a very special night. With that said, good evening. Thank you to all who've reached out regarding the Jewish New Year. After collaborating with the Board of Education, the administration, and members of the community, we have decided to amend our 2021-2022 school calendar to reflect the observance of Rosh Hashanah. The start of the school year for all students will now be Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. With that said, the last day of school for students will be Friday, June 24th, 2022. Thank you for your patience and understanding through this process, and please understand that this Board of Education and this administration is empathetic and caring to all the members that make up this beautiful community we call Bloomfield. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. G.
7D.
Yep. To my board members, if I may just move one of our resolutions up and separate it out. So can I please have a motion to separate out 7D right now? That has to do with the approval of the revised calendar. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Ms. Guo, can I please have a roll call on separating out 7D?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Mr. Morse.
Yes.
Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. Colleagues, may I please have a motion to amend and accept 7D?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Any discussion, board members? Seeing none, Ms. Guo, may I please have a roll call on 7D?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller,
Yes.
Mr. Morse,
Yes.
Ms. Salinas,
Yes.
Vice President Walker,
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. Now that we've taken care of some of the business for this evening, we're going to go on to the fun part. At this point, I'm going to ask Mr. DeToli to take over the microphone. Mr. G, if you want to join me down there so we can congratulate our winners, and let's get the fun part started.
In an attempt not to be hypocritical and ask for brevity, I just feel inclined to say something about the past 15 months. I really think that more of what I've seen in the past 15 months in terms of what our teachers have done virtually from their home, with families, with children, has been nothing short of really remarkable. I have to particularly compliment the work of Assistant Superintendent Flores, our supervisor, Jen Corey, our superintendent and business administrator, who are continually here, as you may know, for every day of those past 15 months. And what Mr. Corey, Mr. Atkinson, and Mr. Flores had done with the cooperation of the BEA without a lot of notice, and the modifications made to it was truly remarkable. But how the teaching staff members individually modified it, provided opportunities for individualized learning for students with IEPs, lack of socialization was truly extraordinary. And this accolade this particular year, I think, takes on a different sense of importance because of the accomplishments of all of our teachers. And before we begin, I think a round of applause to every Bloomfield Education Association. I'd like to start with Linda Colucci, if you're in the audience, from the ECC. We'll move forward and we'll see to the degree Ms. Colucci comes. I'd like to start with Dr. Natasha Baxter. Thank you, Natasha. As I said earlier, I'm going to invite Dr. Baxter up on behalf of Berkeley Elementary School and recognize we have two categories for everyone in TV land. We have our certificated teachers who hold instructional certifications, and we do a separate category of recognition for our educational service professionals who come from the ranks of counseling, library, media specialist, or other educational services certs. And I'm very happy to announce from Berkeley School, second grade teacher, congratulations to Karen Vasquez, and congratulations to Administrative Secretary Lisa Murowinski. Congratulations to both of you. Could you come up?
Should I speak? Okay. Well, first, good evening, Mr. Goncalves, Mr. Flores, distinguished board and upper admin. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to come together in person to honor our Educators of the Year. Congratulations to all of the recipients this year. I'm excited to share Berkeley's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Karen Vasquez, with you. Mrs. Vasquez has been a dedicated educator within the Bloomfield School District for 15 years, serving Berkeley School for her entire career. To her students, she can be found singing and dancing through her lessons. Between her Mickey Mouse ears and exercise routines, you need 100% energy to be in her class daily. She truly wants what's best for her students, and if her students are not working to their full capacity, parents will know exactly how Mrs. Vasquez feels about it. To the staff, she is our friend, an advocate, and a voice of reason. Finally, as building principal, Mrs. Vasquez is the first to offer suggestions about how we can tackle the many district initiatives and school-wide goals systematically while balancing them realistically. She sits on both district and school-based committees to ensure the spirit of Berkeley is recognized and celebrated. I am honored to work with such a passionate educator. Congratulations, Ms. Vasquez, for being Berkeley's Rock Star Teacher of the Year.
I hired Karen.
I'm also excited to share Berkeley's Educator Support Staff of the Year, Mrs. Lisa Marawinski, with you. To Berkeley community, she is affectionately known as Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa has been with Berkeley School for the past 4 years. She is the first to arrive at school and usually the last to leave each day. To the staff, Miss Lisa is helpful and eager to assist with school-wide initiatives, parent workshops, and evening programs. To the parents, Miss Lisa is found offering suggestions to make HSA programs more accessible to all students, assisting with activities, and providing day-to-day support to the community at large. Usually, the parents don't even ask me anymore if that's okay. They usually just go straight to Miss Lisa. Finally, as building principal, Ms. Lisa is the sounding voice of our school community. She serves on our pandemic team and school safety team and works to ensure we are looking at things objectively and from all stakeholders' point of view. Usually, I do not make decisions without checking in with the true principal of our school, Ms. Lisa. I am honored to work with such a passionate professional who does everything with a smile. Congratulations, Ms. Lisa, for being our Rock Star Support Educator of the Year.
Natasha, Karen, and Lisa, congratulations to the two of you. As I indicated earlier, you're welcome to the degree of any family members or friends, professional colleagues that you'd like to take photos with. I pejoratively responded to this as something other than a backdrop. You're welcome to come to the backdrop.
The Bengal
Winner's Circle.
The winner's circle.
Thank you, board members.
Pictures in the winner's circle.
Principal Barton, Lauren Barton, are you here? Thanks. On behalf of Brookdale School, the Board of Education is pleased to welcome Lauren Barton, principal, and along with her, congratulations to Paul Albin, fifth grade teacher, and to Ellen Luca, the library media specialist.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's so great to be here in person and seeing all of you, especially my colleagues who we haven't seen each other for the past 15 months, so it's great to be together tonight. It is my pleasure to congratulate Mr. Paul Albin as Brookdale Schools Teacher of the Year. Mr. Albin has demonstrated remarkable devotion to the well-being of all students and staff, particularly during the events of the COVID pandemic. He is a leader among his colleagues, always knowledgeable, reliable, and willing to help whenever is needed. His calm and pleasant demeanor puts his students in a good mental place for learning, and he can always be counted on for a lighthearted laugh on a daily basis. The students and families in Paul's class are always excited and connected to school and are making progress. He creates a learning environment where the students feel part of the school family and enjoy learning and working together. Mr. Albin's knowledge and expertise shines in areas of Brookdale School. He is a proven leader, serving as the teacher in charge and team leader for his grade level. He works well with staff members to provide information and assistance for our students. As a member of numerous district-wide committees, he makes himself readily available to answer questions or assist teachers with any problems that may arise. His genuine commitment he has shown for his teaching profession is to be admired and is truly worthy of this recognition. I'm lucky to have him as part of the Brookdale staff. Congratulations, Mr. Paul Albin, Brookdale Schools Teacher of the Year. It is now my pleasure to recognize Mrs. Ellen Luca as Brookdale's Educator of the Year. Mrs. Luca goes above and beyond to meet the needs of all members of the Brookdale and Bloomfield community. She is consistently finding new methods to reach her students and parent audience. Mrs. Luca is always providing new ideas to the staff to better engage and collaborate, especially throughout this challenging year. She has been instrumental in assisting teachers and students through virtual learning and our hybrid model. Mrs. Luca goes beyond the role of a media specialist. She has creative ideas to better connect our school community and is a valuable resource to all. Her love and positive energy is contagious. She is one of the most hardworking and valuable people on our staff, and working alongside her is both a pleasure and honor. If you polled the students at Brookdale School, the majority would say that media is definitely their favorite special area class. She embodies a calming and nurturing presence that puts students and colleagues at ease. Mrs. Luca is ready and willing to jump in with any school initiative. She has a true heart for learning and natural ability to go above and beyond, which deserves her place in the spotlight this year. Congratulations to my friend, Mrs. Ellen Luca, Educator of the Year.
Congratulations, Paul and Ellen. I'd like to ask John Balls to come up. On behalf of Carteret School, thank you, John. I remembered in 2013, I walked to Brookdale School with, with Sal, and we were looking at that point for some extra class. I think Joe Flores was the principal, and I walked in Ellen Luca's room, and I never met her before, and she said, please don't put a wall up in my media center. That was a fond memory. Thank you, John, for joining us on behalf of Carteret. Congratulations to fourth grade teacher Gianna Allegretti and to media specialist Jean Barbetta. Congratulations.
Very often we hear about people who return to contribute to the community in which they grew up. Our Teacher of the Year is a perfect example of this. She attended Carteret as a student. She returned to do her student teaching at Carteret. She was a paraprofessional at Carteret and then transitioned into a full-time teacher. She has developed into someone we trust and often seek out to discuss curriculum and instruction. She is a true asset both in and out of the classroom. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Carteret's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Gianna Allegretti. There's a saying that adversity does not build character, it reveals it. And I think we all can agree this past year has been pretty challenging. And no one has revealed their character more than our Educator of the Year. In addition to teaching classes, she made herself available during the day, between classes, lunchtime, after school, in the evening, and on the weekends. She was always there to help teachers solve problems, troubleshoot issues. She created tutorials and videos to help teachers deliver the best instruction possible during this challenging time of remote learning. It is safe to say that we would not have been as successful at Carteret if it was not without her. It was also the first time we had a unanimous vote. Our Educator of the Year is our media specialist, Mrs. Jean Barbetta.
Principal Farrar, are you here? Thank you. Mr. Sullivan? So it's nice tonight in transition. First year that I started in Bloomfield, 2008, I had the pleasure of meeting the Demarest principal at that time, Dr. Deborah Farrar, who left for superintendency in Hohokus. She had come back to help us with a mid-year resignation, shepherd through our indeed now largest elementary school, and she'll be presenting the 2 awards along with the incoming principal, who you may have met at the previous board meeting, Michael Sullivan. So thank you both for being here this evening. Beside, I'm happy to congratulate Dana Battaglia, 4th grade teacher. Congratulations, Dana, if you could join Mr. Sullivan and Dr. Farrar at the front. Oh, perfect, thank you. The glasses haven't improved the vision, evidently, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I feel very, very lucky to be here and lucky that Sal asked me to do this crazy job in the middle of the year. So I'm delighted to be here for a very short time and have my replacement principal with me, and he's amazing. So I feel very good to leave Demarest School in such capable hands. So Mr. Sullivan's here with us tonight, too. But we're here to talk about an amazing Bengal. I want to cry because Dana started in kindergarten at Demarest, as did our Carter Ed teacher. Started in kindergarten, went to school through Bloomfield High School, graduated, came back after college to teach at Demarest School. She is amazing. She has recently gone from 4th grade to being a Demarest School media specialist because she stands out as being incredibly helpful, knowledgeable, capable, so incredibly kind and helpful that we had to say, Dana, you need to have this job because it's a crazy job. But I wanted you all to know that she also leads our Wigman program at Demarest School and is a leader of the Kiwanis Club. So she not only helps children in school, but she also helps children out of school. When other teachers were asked to say what they thought about Dana, things like hardworking, positive, upbeat, ready to pitch in, and always volunteering to help. Her classes are inclusive, respectful, and she promotes and models kindness. She is an amazing teacher. She teaches the whole child and not just the curriculum. When Dana applied for the position, she submitted an application, and the words on her application to me were quite moving. She said that she is committed to working closely with parents to foster a love of learning and success. She is deeply committed to helping students build confidence and love learning. She wants to help students develop lasting relationships with students and teachers. And to me, that's really part of what we do as educators, give them lasting relationships. So we are thrilled to have Dana at Demarest School. Mr. Sullivan is so lucky. Mr. Sullivan, did you want to say anything?
I've only met Dana very briefly, and I've been so impressed, and she's already said, I want to see you all summer, so I'm looking forward to that. So congratulations, well deserved.
We gave Dana a living plant because she loves plants and she helps our teachers with their gardens. So I thought if anybody can keep it alive, she can. So.
I'd like to ask Ms. Mignon to come up on behalf of Fairview School. Along with Gina Marie, I'd like to congratulate 6th grade teacher Victoria Rada and media specialist Angela Bersini.
Good evening. I feel a little short, but I'll make it. The best way to describe Vicki Rada is kind, caring, and compassionate, all the qualities of a great teacher. Her students adore her, as do their parents. Vicki Rada teaches 6th grade language arts at Fairview School. She's always seeking to refine her craft. She's a team player and values not only her colleagues' perspectives, but also the perspectives and ideas of her students. She consistently encourages and empowers her students to become confident, productive, organized, and honorable citizens of their community. She instills a love of reading in her students while encouraging them to write and express their feelings. Vicki supports her students and the community. She helps with fundraising events and attends her students' sporting events and other activities on the weekends. She truly values her students, their parents, and her fellow staff members, both inside and outside the classroom. Fairview School is blessed to have Vicki Rada as Educator of the Year. Congratulations. Now for Angela Bersini, who's working tonight. You can see I like some adjectives here. Intelligent, patient, energetic, and creative. These words describe Angela Bersini to a T. Angela has been a huge asset to Fairview School. From the moment she stepped foot in the building, she dived right in, working with our media specialist, who was new to the position, to organize and utilize our technology. Angela is always ready, willing, and able to give of herself. I have her on speed dial. I'm embarrassed to say that I've called her at 5:30 in the morning and at 10:30 at night. One time, she walked me through a problem for 20 minutes before I realized she was at a wedding. It's no exaggeration to say that she is a driving force at Fairview School. She created a series of how-to videos for our staff as they chartered through remote learning. She is there for all of us all of the time. Although she is a huge asset to our staff, her joy lies in the students. From her quiz quest to her virtual cafes, she spends hours of her own time preparing and implementing these creative activities. I always say that every school needs a Bersini, so Fairview is blessed to have her as part of our family. I cannot think of a more deserving person to receive Education Service Professional of the Year. Congratulations. I love you.
Ms. Abasso? Thank you. Joining Marianne on behalf of Franklin School, the microphone, I'm pleased to congratulate School Guidance Counselor Stephen Untz. Congratulations, Stephen.
Ms. McGeown, I think I might be shorter. Congratulations to all the recipients this evening. And it really is, as Ms. Barton said, so nice to be in person with everyone. Every morning, Mr. Untis comes on the intercom and he does announcements. And at the end of every announcement, there's a quote of the day. They're often very thoughtful and meaningful, sometimes corny. Sometimes I laugh at them and I go, really? So I'm going to do a quote of the evening. And it goes like this. Most people have a desire to look for the exception instead of the desire to become exceptional. Mr. Untis, you are exceptional. I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to work closely with Stephen over the past 5 years. During this past year and a half life has been unpredictable and at times very stressful. Mr. Untis has pulled the Franklin community together and has offered unwavering support to all of us. He has developed fun weekly themes and activities to boost morale. We've had Fridays, we do Decade Day, we had Beach Day, we have music, we dance, and it really helped the students and the staff just feel good and feel empowered and feel happy. He has created a comfort level among staff, students, and parents, which allows him to be an effective mentor, counselor, and role model. His door is always open, and he's always eager to help. He truly cares about our school and the district as a whole. It's evident in everything that he does. Mr. Yu takes a leadership role in many of our committees, the INRS committee, the diversity committee, the PBSIS committee, the SCIP committee, and the pandemic response team. I think that's every committee we have. Just to name a few. He has an impeccable work ethic and a passion for what he does. He gets the job done and he does it well. Because of his passion, these committees contributed to the safety of our community, education of our staff and students, and positive growth at Franklin. He's an invaluable part of our staff. He has played a major role in our many successes at Franklin School. I honestly couldn't do it without him, nor would I want to. I feel in Stephen and Mr. Untist, I have a true partner, a confidant, and a friend. We are so lucky to have him. I don't know how he found Franklin, but I'm very glad he did. I can't thank him enough. Thank you, Stephen.
Mr. Trani? Thank you. Mr. Trani, representing Oakview School, I am pleased to congratulate Alexandra Ferry, sixth grade teacher. Congratulations.
Good evening. I am honored to introduce Oakview's Teacher of the Year, Alexandra Ferry. She is our sixth grade math and science teacher. Alexandra Ferry is one of our own. She attended Brookdale School, Bloomfield Middle School, and Bloomfield High School. At Brookdale, I was fortunate to have her as a first grade student. In first grade, Allie always had a smile, always tried her best, and always got along with everyone. In my opinion, a star student. Fortunately for me, 16 years later, I met Allie at an Oakview sixth grade basketball game. She was working as the scorekeeper, and in catching up with her, I found out she was graduating from University of Delaware with a degree in math education. What a lucky day for me, because I needed a math teacher the following September, and the rest is history. In our interview, Allie told me that math was always her most difficult subject until she had an amazing teacher at Bloomfield High School. That teacher had such an impact on her that she chose to major in math and become a teacher. Things truly come full circle because she is having the same impact on her sixth grade students. Many of them are aspiring to become teachers because of the impact Miss Ferry has had on them. As a teacher, Miss Ferry is enthusiastic, patient, and compassionate. She engages her students by providing interactive lessons and differentiating her instruction. She is so committed to her students that she keeps changing up her instruction to make sure that all her students are as successful as possible. This year, to help her students remember just how much fun learning is, she set up sixth grade Color Wars at Oakview, where students are competing in many different events to score points for their team. They are loving it, and it was just what they needed socially, emotionally, and academically. Miss Ferry is a teacher that goes above and beyond for her students and her coworkers. She has risen to be a teacher leader within our building by initiating math workshops for parents, tutoring sessions for students, and technology classes for teachers. Miss Ferry is a teacher that students remember. The warm and welcoming climate within her classroom is a great place for students to be. She sets high expectations for her students and is right by their side to support them in getting there. Miss Ferry is a high-energy, dedicated teacher who I am proud to call Oakview Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Dr. Rosamilia? As Gina approaches the microphone on behalf of Watsessing School. I'd like to congratulate Michelle Baycott-Edwards, first grade teacher, and Kelly Crick, their media specialist. Congratulations, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. It's a night for media specialists, isn't it? I have the educational support person, and Watsessing School has selected Mrs. Crick. Mrs. Crick has been our media specialist for 12 years at Watsessing School. In that time, she has transformed our school library into an inviting space for the students to grow their love of reading. Kelly is passionate and dedicated, constantly researching the newest student-favorite authors, finding appropriate books to go along with curricular units and class projects, and uses budgeted monies to purchase books that truly interest students. Mrs. Crick is also often the first staff member to arrive each day, and usually one of the last to leave at the end of the day. She goes above and beyond her role as school media specialist. Every morning, she can be found on the playground, welcoming our students into the school, and is always assisting in the main office, asking if anyone needs help. Mrs. Crick has been the teacher liaison to our Home and School Association for many years and also serves on a variety of district-wide committees. Her genuine caring, nature, along with her unmatched knowledge, makes her an amazing coworker. In March 2020, when we began virtual learning, Watsessing School transformed seamlessly into this new way of instruction and learning due to Mrs. Crick's ingenuity and expertise. She's organized computer pickups, giving tech support to students, parents, and staff, interactively taught all of her classes virtually while infusing technology, continues to hold Google Meets for read-alouds. Kelly has spent countless hours on the phone, in person, through individual conversations, PLCs, at faculty meetings, always assisting our community to navigate Google Classroom, the vast number of websites, and the myriad of Google platforms. If I had to name one of the top 10 most fascinating faculty members in Bloomfield, it would be Mrs. Crick, in that she is able to provide each one of us with the most captivating information on just about any topic imaginable. Whether it is a historical fact, information about a new book published, top grossing movies, or where to go whale watching, what the weather is going to be like, she continues to educate us. She told me tonight, Mr. Gonzalez, it was going to rain. Yes, Mr. G could actually use her on snow days, I think. As a globetrotter, she has visited every continent around the world. The staff truly feels she should be on Jeopardy! On a personal note, we would like to congratulate Mrs. Crick in recently becoming a grandmother to Grace in March. Mrs. Crick's dedication to students, parents, and staff has never wavered. She continually supports all stakeholders and is a great asset to our school community and our district. Congratulations, Kelly. You are the most deserving of this award. Our Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Baycott-Edwards first applied for a full-time position for Watsessing School, and her cover letter stated that her goal was to positively impact the lives of students in the Bloomfield School District. Over the past 7 years, Mrs. Baycott-Edwards has worked in the role as a paraprofessional, special education teacher, and the first grade inclusion teacher. She has demonstrated what an astounding and dedicated educator she is, continually striving to create an inclusive and safe learning environment. She inspires students while cultivating a climate of trust, respect, and success. During COVID, she conducted bi-monthly virtual parent meetings, building a positive rapport and relationships with families, oftenly connecting her families to the resources offered by our school and within our community. With her innovative and 21st century skills-minded approach, Mrs. Baycott Edwards encourages students to become astute problem solvers and to be able to live in an ever-changing world. She incorporates current events and student life experiences into her instruction to enhance student engagement and make deeper connections with their lives and the world around them. She prepares her students for life, both inside and outside of the classroom. Her patience and soft-spoken demeanor allow for a sense of calmness in her classroom. She is knowledgeable in all areas of the curriculum and seeks times to collaborate with her colleagues. She serves on our school wellness and community committees and is a member of the district's English Language Arts Committee. Mrs. Baycott Edwards has shared her talent in working with our new Benchmark Phonics program by having teachers throughout the district visit her classroom, as she was instrumental in implementing the program. She also continues to give back to the profession as she mentors student teachers and staff. Mrs. Baycott Edwards empowers her students by using words and actions to validate and affirm them as future leaders to our society, creating opportunities for them to express good character and citizenship. She addresses her students all of the time by saying, "Hello, my friends. Good morning, my friends. Where are my virtual friends?" Always positive and smiling, she is the consummate professional and reminds all of us, keep a growth mindset so we can all evolve as our world is evolving. Mrs. Baycott Edwards has been involved in professional development activities with the International Literacy Association, NJEA, Bloomfield College, and the New Jersey State Bar Foundation, with topics related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. She collaborated with our supervisor of ESL, Social Studies and World History, Mr. Orlovsky, to teach a BTA class entitled Let's Talk Equity. This class addressed the Amistad mandate to teach African American history throughout the year in a cross-curricular manner. It also highlighted how our new social studies curriculum offers components that integrate positive contributions African Americans have made to society and align with the mandate. As a change agent, she was able to create a brave, safe space for staff to openly discuss their feelings regarding race and the events unfolding in current events on social justice and equity in education. Mrs. Baycott Edwards, a Bloomfield resident whose children have gone through the Bloomfield school system, is an advocate for quality education for all students, building community and positive change. She is willing to get comfortable with uncomfortable topics, encouraging the collaboration of school faculty members, students, families, the district, and community at large. I would like to congratulate Mrs. Baycott Edwards for being Watsessing School Teacher of the Year.
If I could just ask everybody to stay put until the end. At the end, we'd like to have every staff member who is honored tonight so we can have one big group photo. So we have a few more to go, patience. And then afterwards, if we can get everybody together for a group shot, I'd really appreciate it. Mr. DeToli.
Thank you, President Fishman. My friend and colleague who has been over the past 10 years wonderfully helpful is not here this evening. I believe Linda Colucci, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to honor fine representatives, teaching staff members, and education service professionals at the Early Childhood Center. And I had spoke with President Fishman a few moments ago, and in Ms. Colucci's absence, I thought it was apropos to take a history lesson of what this administration, particularly one of Sal Goncalves' first major projects, was reconceptualizing the alternative program that we had housed at Forest Academy with the interim director, Carrie DiGiacinto, Principal Jennings, Linda Colucci, Sal, and in a brokered agreement with Bloomfield College, we were able to house a transitional program in Voorhees Hall and reconceptualize the alternative program, Forest Glen, into a state-of-the-art early childhood center. Linda's been enormously successful with it, but one contribution of one particular individual is worth highlighting, and that is Shane Berger, who's been a keen supporter since day one of the project. From opening to transition, Shane was an integral part, not only from the community, but on behalf of the board, and I thought it was only apropos to invite him up as we congratulate Kelly Karras, pre-K teacher, and Colin Rygzinski, a paraprofessional. To the degree you're both here, please come up, and if not, we'll...
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The board member in the spotlight again tonight. Thank you so much for coming. If I may just reflect on how public education is a people's business. And in our community, our Board of Education and Administration are connected at the hip. 7 years ago, Ms. Colucci was the Director of Special Education, and I happened to be in the office when she came in with some dire news. And she told Mr. G that we had 65 community member students that needed early intervention. And at that point, the wheels started to turn. We knew we had to do something for the community and these students because we refused to leave anyone behind. I want to congratulate you, Mr. G, and Ms. Colucci on spending the time, and it's been 7 years now, producing one of the best early childhood centers in the county. And with that, may I congratulate Ms. Karen Karras and Ms. Colleen Rygzinski. Congratulations.
I learned, Gina, but I called you too soon. I apologize, so I'm not going to make the same mistake with Principal Veda Manzo. Thank you, Ala, for coming up on behalf of the middle school. Along with Ala, I'd like to offer my congratulations to computer science teacher Gregory Murray and school psychologist Kate Guinness. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm pretty sure that in the last 14 months I've completely lost any public speaking skills, so you will excuse me because I don't remember how to do this. And also, the brevity of my words are in no way any sort of indication of the amazing work that the two people that you see in front of you have done. I couldn't ask for a more hardworking, engaging, kind, and creative colleague in Mr. Greg Murray. He's a former social studies teacher, current team leader, and a computer science teacher who took my crazy idea and built it into a very successful program. He's a wingman leader who, as recently as this morning, just in the hallway, suggested we do a time capsule and have our wingmen do that. So he's always full of these amazing ideas. He's a tremendous asset to the BMS community. I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart for your positivity, ingenuity, and dedication. Congratulations. A consummate professional, a passionate advocate, an invaluable resource for students, families, and staff, Kate Guinness, our school psychologist, has powerfully impacted the lives of BMS students for the last 8 years. Her expertise, empathy, and unwavering commitment to assuring success of children in her care have been a blessing to the BMS community. Thank you for your genuine and deep devotion to BMS students, and congratulations.
Just one quick note. Greg's mother was a teacher at Oakview School who also received this award. Greg's father was a teacher at Watsessing School who also received this award. Clearly, it's in the blood.
He's a ringer. He's a ringer.
In addition to thanking him for his hospitality and opening up his beautiful building and this beautiful auditorium, I'd like to welcome Mr. Jennings to the front on behalf of the high school, please. Along with Chris, I'd like to congratulate special education teacher Mary Ann Justice Bulwig and Stephen Gentry, school counselor. Congratulations.
Good evening, and congratulations to all the recipients. I do want to just give a special thank you to the crew working tonight who put together all of the necessary technical background. So from Tom Atkinson's technology department to our sound people, Cormac and his crew, and Mrs. Corey. So thank you for making this possible. Let's start with Mr. Gentry, our Educational Service Professional of the Year. Mr. Gentry is one of our 8 school counselors. And at Bloomfield High School, 2 of the counselors are dedicated to 9th grade only. And this is a program that we started about 10 years ago. And Mr. Gentry, who started his career at the old Forest Glen as a paraprofessional and started in Bloomfield High School as a counselor in 2009. And by 2011, I tapped him for one of the 2 positions to work with the freshmen. And since that time, he's been the steady hand in that program. His partner has changed over the course of the last few years a couple of times, but Mr. Gentry has been there to guide the ship. And through his dedication and through his working with the freshman team teachers, we've been able to see an increase of the proficiency level of our 9th graders increase by over 10% over those last 10 years. And that's a direct example of his dedication to getting to know each individual on a personal basis, knowing what works for them, their families, working, integrating his knowledge with the freshman teams and doing everything for the benefit of the child. He also teaches one of our leadership classes to the 11th graders, and he is a key member of our wingman team here at the high school. And so I'd like to congratulate Mr. Stephen Gentry. Congratulations. And our very special teacher of the year, Miss Mary Ann Justice Bulwig. Mary Ann, I just learned now, her first position in Bloomfield 28 years ago was as a teacher in Mr. G's school. So Mr. G has a pretty good track record here as well. That's right. And so Mary Ann Justice teaches, she's a reading specialist here at the high school working with our special education students over the last 28 years. And she has done a tremendous job of increasing the level of education in these students as she has seen the accountability for special education increase over the last 28 years through No Child Left Behind and all of the standards. It's not no longer acceptable to just have special education students, in the basement and just doing, the best they can. She holds these students to the highest standards of any student in the building, and they come through with flying colors because they want to please her, and she is an exceptional reading teacher, teaching cognitively impaired teenagers how to read and how to process and how to think critically. Marian Justice is somebody that I go to all the time when we have new committees, as a common thread through some of the other people that have been recognized tonight. And I pick her not because she's a yes woman, but because I know she'll give me the honest truth, and that she'll do it with an understanding of what's best for the students, what's best for the building, and she'll do it usually with, a sarcastic joke as well. So we appreciate all those components. And to boot, Miss Justice Belleriga is now retiring. And lest you think that this is just a going away present, I'll have you know that she's been a finalist each of the last 3 years for Teacher of the Year. She is nothing if not consistent. So we wish you well on your retirement. Congratulations on a tremendous career. Thank you.
As I said at the onset of tonight's presentation, I think this has been an extraordinary year in so many respects, notably for our purposes, from the perspective of education. And I'm not particularly an optimistic person, but I do think in light of everything that all of us have went through in the past 15 months, seeing what has been accomplished through the leadership of our principals, the innovation and professionalism of our teaching staff members that we applauded when we started out, I have to believe that we've taken away pretty remarkable learning lessons from the past 15 months that are going to serve us well. I think as we recover some of the deficits through our ESY program and into the 21-22 school year, what our teaching staff members have learned with their own practice and innovation is going to serve our pupils in Bloomfield very, very well. And it's difficult to say that one teaching staff member outranks the other award recipients tonight, but indeed, we do have an accolade for District Teacher of the Year, as we do every year, and that does not minimize the individual accomplishments that all of the educational service professionals and teachers have been recognized for here today, but it underscores something that the Committee of Administrators and BEA members have thought fairly unique, and it is special. It is worth of a separate recognition, and I am pleased. I believe that only one other person besides the superintendent is holding this type of information, and notwithstanding being the attorney, there's nothing that I have that's particularly confidential. So to the degree this is the only piece of confidential information, here it goes. The District Teacher of the Year, the 2020-2021 school year, I am very pleased to welcome back Dr. Rosamilia and Michelle Baycott-Edwards from Wachusett.
As I mentioned to you earlier, Mrs. Baycott-Edwards indicated that her goal was to positively impact the lives of students in the Bloomfield School District. Well, in a short period of time, Mrs. Baycott-Edwards, you certainly have accomplished this, and truly, your career has only just begun. So many historical events have taken place this year: a global pandemic, a call to social justice, the election of the first female African and Native American Vice President of the United States, and a virtual learning platform that I think Bloomfield has just blown right out of the park. With that said, Mrs. Baycott-Edwards, you will also be making history, not only as the first Wachusett African American Teacher of the Year, but on behalf of the Bloomfield Board of Education, Mr. Gonzalez, the administration, the Wachusett staff, and the entire Bloomfield school community. I am proud and honored to announce that you are being recognized as that Bloomfield School Teacher District of the Year, and I believe that is the first African American District Teacher of the Year. You set history. Congratulations. I have to let you in on a little secret. A short while ago, Mrs. Baycott Edwards came to me. She stood at my office door and she said, "Gina, I didn't get the County Teacher of the Year." And at this time, I just was notified about this on Friday, so I went, "Oh, Michelle, it's okay, because you're our Teacher of the Year. It's okay, it doesn't matter." And she turned to me and she said, "I really hope that Kelly Crick gets it." And our educational specialists are not in the category to receive that county teacher, but that just tells you the kind of person that Mrs. Edwards is. Do you want to say a couple words?
I'm honored and I'm shocked and I'm nervous, but I would like to say thank you to my leadership, Dr. Rosamelia, who constantly speaks into my life and encourages me to be the best teacher that I can be, the best educator that I can be, and to take those challenges that I need to take to advance my career. So I want to thank you first and foremost for the opportunity that you've given. But there are others that have given the opportunity. Principal Bolts, just in the beginning of my career, had afforded me opportunities. Fairview School, who educated my children, middle school, high school. There are just so many people to thank. Supervisors who have allowed me space to partner with them, to share in experiences that I would not have signed up for. And being a parent in the district, also participating with the parents and the Association for DEI in the district. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity and the space to just be in the room with you. So to all of the teachers that have been honored tonight, congratulations to you. And you know that we stand amongst colleagues who work really hard and tirelessly to affect change in the lives of our students and their families in our district, and also our district leaders. Thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for being the agents of change for such a climate as this. Thank you, I'm honored.
Come on.
At this time, if we could have all of the educators and the support professionals of the year come to the front, and we'd like to take a group photo. Board members, if you'd please step down from the dais, and we'll try to fit everyone in. Jen, you and I will try to get something from the back.
I'm glad she's like, she loves it. It's because you know it's so hard. Obviously, virtual so hard. I don't get feedback. I can usually get a good sense of that. It's very hard, as you know. So that's great. I'm glad she's enjoying it.
Board members in the back on video, you're on, so smile. Smile back there. Again, look up. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 5-minute recess before regular board business continues. So people that are virtual on WBMA or Facebook, we will return live with board business in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the live portion of our meeting. On behalf of the Board of Education and Administration, we'd like to thank all our educators of the year and their families for attending tonight. It's just another step forward as we come back from a difficult 14 months to celebrate a handful of people who have helped our students not only meet but exceed expectations through the last 14 months. And they are just a small sampling of the hard work and dedicated staff and faculty we have here in the Bloomfield Educational Committee. So congratulations to all our award winners this evening, to their family members, and most of all to our faculty and staff district-wide for everything that they do on a daily basis, top to bottom. Congratulations. We're going to continue on with our agenda items. For those of you following along, we're on number 4, the hearing of the public. There will be a maximum of 45 minutes for public comment. As we've done in the past during this virtual time, we've opened it up to agenda and non-agenda items. Each person is limited to 3 minutes. And I'm going to ask Ms. Guo to check her inbox. And then I'm going to ask Mr. Atkinson if we have any live callers. For those of you watching on Facebook, the number has been posted again in the comment section if you'd like to dial in. Ms. Guo. Mr. Atkinson. Okay, we're going to take that live caller then, please. Maybe.
Been a lot of accolades tonight regarding all the teachers and stuff, and it's greatly appreciated. But I felt it was important. I hope I could come and talk to you in person, but it's important that the people that are sitting in front of us on the stage tonight are recognized as well. So I'm calling on behalf of the students of the production team of the VHS Thespian Society. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Sal, Vicki, and Joe, Jen, and Chris, and all the members of the Board of Ed, and particularly Shane and Ben, for the support and encouragement in helping us successfully produce our entire season uninterrupted. Many other schools were forced into virtual or streaming pre-recorded productions. We were live in front of an audience. And that's what theater is by its nature. It is not truly theater otherwise. So thank you guys very much for allowing us to develop a plan and giving us the go-ahead to go and give our students the opportunity to do what they love best and give them an opportunity to be together and to work together in a situation that was stressful, to say the least, for everybody. It really is remarkable that I've spoken to a number of other theater educators, and they were what I would have considered horror stories. Not allowed back in the building, rugs pulled out from under them at the last minute, no administrations or Board of Ed of other schools seem to have the insight to understand the importance of this and to understand that it could be done as long as we took the right precautions. So thank you guys very much. I'd also like to take the time to give a shout out to the coaches and all the others who had successful seasons. Thanks to you. In some ways, I think it's tougher for them. I mean, we can be creative. We can change things around. We can put screens in front of between people and masks on them as they perform. I don't see how you conduct a basketball game or a wrestling match or a volleyball game without playing it the way you always play it. And they found ways to do that as well and be successful. So I just would like to take this opportunity to thank you guys very much. And congratulations to all the Teachers of the Year. It's a great group. I've been here 26 years in this town. My kids are products of Fairview School. And we're happy to call ourselves Bloomfielders. So thank you guys very much. It was greatly appreciated.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words. You brought up some very good and important parts of our community here, and we'd like to thank them, our student athletes and our student performers who have been liaisons out into the community during this difficult time and set the bar high as for the rest of us to follow. So thank you for your kind words on behalf of the board and the rest of the educational community. Mr. Atkinson, do you have any other callers?
Nope.
Ms. Guo, do you have anything in your inbox?
Sure, yes. I have received many emails related to the first day of school, which we took care of it already. There's one that's about a different matter. So let me read this. I understand that Mr. Goncalves, Mr. Flores, and members of the Board of Education have put a great deal of work and money into obtaining an RFP from a company called Greener by Design to make our school buildings more sustainable. This is wonderful to hear. Can you please give an update on where that stands? Thank you so much for your work in this matter.
In regards to what is said by the caller, that's an initiative that we participated in, but we're not the lead participants. The Bloomfield Town Council and Mayor's Office were the lead principals in that, and we are waiting to hear the results of what actually was accomplished with that. That's where we are at this point.
Yep.
Thank you, President Fishman. If I can just add, well, the Greener by Design RFP that was put forth by the town council was much more encompassing than just solar on the district's buildings. It included solar on parking structures, being able to accommodate electric cars and charging stations, and it also took a spin in a direction that, while very interesting and certainly important for a community as large as Bloomfield, wasn't necessarily what was under any of the interests that I know of with regard to the district, and that is namely creating a microgrid infrastructure in the community. So I think that it's as Mr. Gonsalves has said, it's a very interesting proposal and response that was created by the RFP, but a lot of it is just not applicable to a school district setting.
Thank you, Mr. Hiller. Ms. Guo, do you have any other messages?
No other messages.
Seeing none, I am going to close the hearing of the public and move on to number 5, reports. Colleagues, the suspension report is in your packet, and we are on to 5B. Mr. G, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Fishman. First, I would like to thank again all of our Teacher Governor of the Year recipients. They're an amazing, talented group of individuals who represent Bloomfield far and above staff members from other school districts within the county, the state, and across the country. We're extremely proud of you and thankful that you've chosen Bloomfield for your careers. Secondly, I'd like to share that the NJDOE has required school districts to have a reopening plan that is due to the state by June 24th. The plan will be available on our district website in the near future and before June 24th. Please go to the district website, review the plan, and share your comments directly with me or other members of the administration. With that said, please understand we are fully intending to open in full capacity come this September. With that said, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. G. Just a few congratulations for the board president report. Congratulations to our seniors on their successful prom and their upcoming graduation. I know that this is just the start of their festivities and the great things to come. So we can't wait to see what new endeavors our senior class takes on in the future. You met earlier this evening our new principal of Demorest, Michael Sullivan. We wish him the best as he begins his new career here in Bloomfield. And also to congratulate Coach Lewis Stevens on his 300th win with our volleyball team. With that being said, that doesn't happen very often, so it's a testament to him and how well he trains our team. So congratulations to him and all of his players that were part of those 300 wins. Ms. Guo is going to ask me to remind you about food pickup. It has remained the same until the end of the year, and then for the month of July, it changes, and then again in the month of August. Please see the website for any up and coming details as those things change. With that being said, I think we did a great job of bringing back our teachers to celebrate them in today, and I'm going to leave it at that. Moving on to number 6, we're going to go with the approval of the minutes. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. A second. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Discussion on the approval of the minutes. You guys, you got to help me out if somebody's reading their hand. Oh, we're good. Okay. Ms. Guo, can I please have a roll call?
Sure. Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Mr. Morse.
Yes.
Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. We are on to number 7, the curriculum and instruction package. Mr. Berger, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Fishman. The Curriculum Instruction Committee met on June 3rd, Thursday, at 12 o'clock. The attendees were myself, Mr. Morse, Mr. Anderson, President Fishman, and Assistant Superintendent Flores. We discussed 2 winners of the inaugural competitive New Jersey STEM Innovation Fellowship Program. We have 2 of our district employees. Thank you so much, Jessica Capello and Isabella Campisi. We discussed at length the class size policy, 2312, where we are amending a few words. It's all in the minutes for everyone to see. It's the second read. We discussed the status of the summer curriculum writing. There is no EpiPen delegates at this time, and there are a few professional development conferences. Also, in our additional items for discussion, we had a terrific update of our amazing Juneteenth celebration, which is going to be on Friday, June 18th, and on Saturday morning, June 19th. We also, kindly requested from the administration that the curriculum committee get a meeting with Dr. Latimer and Dr. Macula all by ourselves, not pertaining to our usual times. And with that being said, I'd like to make a motion of 7A through C, please, President Fishman.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Any discussion on the curriculum and instruction package? Mr. Walker.
We already voted for C.
Sorry?
We already voted for C.
Okay, so everything minus C. It was D. It was D.
On the
7D.
on board docs, it says C.
We moved it around. It's 7D.
Can I go ahead?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, President Fishman. Thank you, Mr. Berger, for your report. I'm not sure if this is parked in the right location or not, so forgive me if it's not, but I believe the summer learning program is under the curriculum committee, so I'm going to bring it up at this time. I just want to highlight two things related to the summer learning program. One, I've had some direct discussion for my own family's sake with both some of the elementary school principals as well as the middle school staff, and the program looks amazing. But I would like to make a request to the administration and to the committee that there be some further review of the consistency of how that program is being rolled out. There seems to be some confusion in the community, within our administrative community as well as our larger community, about who's participating, how it's being distributed out to folks, how people are being invited, what the criteria is for moving forward. And I think it would be helpful if the committee could provide some better insight to the summer program, so parents in the larger community understand it as we move forward into June and July. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. I believe that was discussed the last time we were here. Mr. Flores, if you want to just chime in real quick.
Yeah, I know follow-ups are coming out. And again, this is the first time we're doing this district-wide, and I know we've talked offline about this too. But it's noted, and we'll get some clarification out there through the committee and through the community.
And if you could just make sure, or if the administration could just make sure that community understands what the deadlines are for folks in particular, that seems to be one of the inconsistencies from school to school. Thank you.
Noted.
Any other comments? Ms. Guo, may I please have a roll call?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Mr. Morse.
Yes.
Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. On to number 8, the finance and facility package. Mrs. Salinas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Fishman. Our committee had met, our committee had met on Wednesday, June 2nd at 3 o'clock. Present was myself, Ms. Dudley, Ms. Guo, Mr. Skazova. Absent was Mr. Walker. We missed you that day, Mr. Walker. Mr. Skazova provided the following project updates. Demarest brick front restoration. Project started on time and progressing smoothly. Foley Field. PSA team is moving forward with design development drawings. The committee had further discussion regarding infilling the Foley existing trenches and pilings. Ms. Guo discussed the following 2 resolutions with the committee. Maschio's contract renewal for 21-22. It's a 2% increase on management fee from 2021. Submission of 21-22 toilet room facilities for kindergarten classroom waivers to DOE for approval. These are the routine annual waiver submissions to the county office. Ms. Guo discussed the following items with the committee. BMS HVAC project presentation by PSA, and PSA will present the project plan to the Finance and Facilities Committee in July. And also discussion was also the board self-evaluation. President, I would like a motion to move 8A through 8G. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any discussion on the finance and facility package? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Mr. Morse. Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. We are on to number 9, the personnel and management package. Mr. Heller, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Fishman. Personnel Management Committee met on Wednesday, June 8th. In attendance were all committee members, President Fishman, Board Member Green, and Mr. DeToli from the administration, as well as me. We reviewed the board notes that appear tonight. We particularly note some resignations and a retirement, and we thank all of those who are leaving the district for their years of service. We talked about the Teacher of the Year, which was a wonderful event this evening. We discussed Board Policy 2312. Board Policy 2312 is on the agenda this evening for first read and represents a modification to the 7th through 12th grade class sizes. And finally, we talked about the need for the board members to complete the board self-evaluation as well as the superintendent evaluation. And with that, I would like to move Resolution 9A through 9H.
Thank you, Mr. Heller. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Any discussion on the personnel package? Ms. Guo, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes, on
Miss-
9G, I withhold or I abstain on EM, MP, and CP.
Mr. Morse. Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. We're going to go on to number 10, and then before we have a hearing of the public, we're going to have to backtrack to something. I'll tell you guys in a second, but first read and second read policies 10A and B. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Discussion on the first and second read policies. Mr. Walker.
Thank you, President Fishman. In regards to the policies that we have tonight, I believe there are two policies that require additional study, and I would respectfully request that the policy committee take a closer look at them and report back to the board. The first policy that's identified, that I want to identify is, let me make sure I get this right. I lost it. I had it right here.
Are you talking about the cabinet one?
Yeah.
5330.101.
There it is. Thank you. Yes. Policy 5330.01, administration of medical cannabis. I believe at our last board meeting during the first read, I had made a request to the administration that we get some additional information about this particular policy. I understand after having reviewed the documentation made available that this is a minor change to the policy. While that is true and appropriate, I still believe that this is a policy that requires further attention and requires further direction both from the county and the state, and has implications in terms of how we both administer it and what it means long term for our overall community. So I would respectfully request that we take another look at this policy moving forward. The second one is a first read policy. This is our class size policy. Recognizing that this is an improvement to the current class size policy, I do believe it is an item that requires additional study. In offline conversations with Mr. DeToli and with the administration, we identified a couple of questions in regards to how this policy is administered long term and the ability of our facilities as well as our administration to keep it consistent from school building to school building. I believe that this is an area that requires additional study by the board and by the administration in conjunction. While I have no opposition to the policy itself, I would respectfully request that the policy committee of our board work together to look at this more carefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mr. Heller, Mr. Anderson, can you please add that to your list of things to do?
President Fishman, just a point of clarification. So Mr. Walker has respectfully requested that we pull from second read 5330.01.
No, I have not.
No, he did not. He just asked for a second look.
I'm not asking for anything to be pulled. I'm asking for the policy committee to review the new policy as it comes into play.
We will adopt that policy, and then the policy review committee will go out and review 5330.
5330.01, we're going to ask that you look and see if there's any further guidance set forth by the state or county in regards to that. And then he has a couple of things that he wants you to look at in terms of the class size policy, but both will be moving forward today unless anyone else wants to separate out or table.
So for 5330 and the additional look, the only other thing that I would add is we take our policy guidance from one provider in the state. We can also take guidance from New Jersey school boards and their policy. I think that we should, when we go and do the second look for 5330.01, that we also look and see what the guidance on New Jersey school boards is.
That I defer to you and your committee and Mr. DeToli as our board attorney.
With regard to 2312, Mr. Walker, could you be a little bit more expansive with regard to the sizes? It doesn't necessarily have to be this evening. I see at least one board member further down shaking their head. They don't want this to go on, but if you could provide some guidance from your professional experience to the committee for the things that we should be looking for.
I'll be happy to, and we can do that offline.
Thank you. Mr. Morris, you had something to add?
I was just wondering what was Ralph's concern with the 5330 or the medical marijuana one? What needed to be looked into further?
My specific concern on the administration of medical cannabis by the schools is that based on the read, and again, I'm not a legal expert, nor do I claim to be a cannabis expert. Based on reviewing the policy, it seems to be inconsistent with the changes in local law, and I realize that we have the right to make policies that are more specific to our environment, but I want to understand what that implies for us as a school district.
Just for clarification, there's nothing wrong with the policy. He wants to take a deeper dive into it. Yep. But what they have set forth by Strauss Esme is what is most current in the legal opinion, and Mr. DeToli can jump in if I am incorrect in that. What Mr. Walker is asking is that this is opening kind of Pandora's box as we move forward in educational community with youngsters who are under the age of legal use. And that's what we're asking to do. That changes nothing for what we're doing right now. That'll happen behind the scenes with our policy committee. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Squill, may I please have a roll call?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Dudley. Ms. Dudley.
Ms. Dudley.
Yes, I'm sorry, I have a bad connection, yes.
No problem, thank you. Ms. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Mr. Morse.
Yes.
Ms. Salinas.
Yes.
Vice President Walker.
Yes.
President Fishman.
Yes. Before we open the second hearing of the public, I know that there was a technical issue, and I know that Ms. Guo has had some emails regarding this. So before we open this up to the hearing of the public, Mr. G, do you want to go back and repeat the part of your presentation that cut out with the technicality so that people at home can hear what you had to say?
Yes, President Fishman. First of all, I apologize that the announcement dropped. The issues that I talked about, number one, were a shout out and thank you to our Teacher Governor of the Year recipients. They're an amazing, creative, exceptional group of teachers, and we're very fortunate to have them as part of the Bloomfield school community. Secondly, I mentioned the New Jersey Department of Education is requiring school districts to have a reopening plan due to the state by June 24th. The plan is currently being worked on, and it will be available on our district website for all to see in the near future. We encourage the community to read the document and feel free to email me with any comments in regards to this plan. With that said, we fully intend to open in full capacity come September. And that concluded my report. Thank you, President Fishman.
Thank you, Mr. G. Jay, did it go through this time? We're good? Thank you very much for people in the public to let us know that that had dropped so we can go back and make sure we have clarification on that. We are on number 7 of your, not number 7, number 11 of your agenda, the second hearing of the public. Remember, there'll be maximum of 45 minutes for public comment. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. You must state your name and address if you are calling in. I'm going to go to Mr. Atkinson live on the line first. No one, thank you. Ms. Guo?
No messages?
Thank you. Seeing none, we're going to close the hearing of the public and move on to number 12, business. 12A first is delegate and ad hoc committee reports. Mr. Heller?
I'll defer to Mrs. Salinas if I'm getting any of this wrong or if she feels that I'm not doing a good job of representing it. But the district had on, I got to think back, June 3rd, a fantastic professional development for the Green Team. There were 4 presentations by community members, including a very interesting one on recycling, another one on pollinator pathways, and it was fantastic to see, if I remember correctly, 31 people on the call. I want to thank Mr. Capello for organizing that, Ms. Guo for being able to facilitate that. On behalf of my liaison role as board member to the Bloomfield Recycling Committee, thank you from the Recycling Committee for the opportunity to have participated in that PD, and I can only imagine the good things that are going to come up with regard to Sustainable Schools Jersey and our own Green Team efforts in district. Did I miss anything?
No, you did not.
I did it from memory. I can't actually get a signal on my phone to brought up the document where I made the notes.
I know, I brought the wrong book. I had my notes and I had 2 books and I brought the wrong one, so I don't even have it in front of me. But yes, you covered everything, and Mr. Capello, he did a great job bringing everyone together with the help of Vicki and Mike Heller. And in just a short period of time, I've learned a lot about recycling, pollinators, and overall, it was just a good presentation, and I'm excited if we could roll this out into our district.
Thank you, Mr. Heller. Thank you, Mrs. Salinas, for that wonderful report, and we look to carry it on. Any other committee or ad hoc reports? Mr. Morris, Mrs. Dudley, do you want to tell us anything we need to know before Juneteenth celebrations?
Sure. Can you hear me okay? Good, thank you. Thank you, President Fishman. Thank you, board members. So we are now within 2 weeks out from our Juneteenth celebration. And first, I'd like to thank everyone that has committed their time and effort to make this possible, especially to Sal, Joe, and as well as Principal Jennings for supporting, supporting the Civil Rights Commission on Friday night and hosting as well the event at the school auditorium. So for starters, Friday night, the round table will be hosted by the Bloomfield Commission on Civil Rights. We have 3 amazing panelists that will speak to Juneteenth, past, present, and future. And that will start at 6 p.m. And we are asking that everyone register. Please register, as the seats are accounted for. So we have a few seats that are assigned. We are giving our teachers, of course, precedence at that registration, as well as community members of Bloomfield, and especially invited guests. So if you have not done so already, please register, and we will ensure that you are able to have a seat at that time. There will be a virtual link that will be provided the day before, 2 days before the actual event. So there will be able to be viewed virtually, but if you have planned to come out in person, please ensure that you register. Saturday, we will proceed with our program at the high school. We'll proceed with our program at the high school starting at 10 a.m. Saturday morning with the reading of the proclamation. We'll have some comments from township officials, as well as some of our board members and students. So that will go on at 10 a.m. to 11. We will be followed by a marching band that will lead us to Bloomfield College and their commencements and festivities. And then there's a town-wide event starting at 12 p.m. In the middle of town within the Lackawanna and Washington Street area. So we hope to see everyone come out for this first annual event. We put a lot of hard work, time, and effort into this. It's been great working with the town council, our officials, and just everyone who really has come out and put in their time and effort into this. There was a press release that was, I believe it went out on Monday, a Mason release that talked about, that really spoke to us as a community coming together and working to focus on one event. And this Juneteenth event was a great time to just show the camaraderie in the community of Bloomfield. So thank you so much to everyone that has really put their time in. It's been a great experience working with everyone, and we in the Community Engagement Committee look forward to doing this event annual, and then of course, celebrating and supporting other cultures and communities within the Bloomfield community.
Thank you, Mrs. Dudley. Just one quick question. Can you please tell everybody where they can go to register?
Well, we will be sending out the link for registration, and there is a flyer that is available also. If we need it, I'm sure someone can get the link in the chat and send it out.
Thank you, Mrs. Dudley. Mr. Morris, do you have anything to add?
The flyers were all sent out via virtual backpack, social media, so they're available online in multiple platforms.
There we go. Already ahead of the game, Mrs. Dudley. Mr. Morris, I'm sorry, we got...
Just a thought that maybe the Community Engagement Committee would want to start to talk about heritage as we do that, and maybe Shane talked about a heritage calendar, so maybe we could take that under our wing and meet up with some different groups in town and maybe make an outline for what that could look like.
I would wait until after you do this first, but you guys have worked so hard to put this together. If that's the next thing that we're going to work toward as a board, absolutely. But let's see this to fruition first.
All right, thanks. That'll be our summer project.
There you go. Congratulations to that committee and all the partners that you've been working with townwide to put Bloomfield on the map and ahead of the game and set us forth as leaders as we learn new ways to celebrate Juneteenth as a community. Kudos to you all that have worked on it. Any other ad hoc committee reports? So I'm going to go new business, old business, and information items. Seeing none, I'm going to go to everybody's favorite time. It's called adjournment. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Wait, Jill.
What?
I'm sorry. Did you say new business?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, we'll go back. Yes.
Did you say new business? Yes. Okay. I just want to mention that Mr. Heller and I attended the Urban Boards Committee meeting with New Jersey School Boards Association last week, Friday. It was a great meeting. Just want to mention that it was focusing on having a more diversified teaching staff in our schools, and I think that we definitely learned a lot. I learned a lot, just so that we can bring back to the personnel committee.
Perfect. Can't wait to hear about it in our next committee meeting. Thank you for sharing that. If there's no other comments, I'm sorry I missed you because I wasn't looking I should have looked behind me. We're going to go to everybody's favorite time. It's called adjournment. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. Thank you to our tech committee as well for everything they've done to make this happen.